All right, let's try this one more time. This being from a camera thing is nerve-wracking. Riffing. I don't know if this is my personality. What's up, everyone? Thank you guys so much for stopping by. My name is Julian. This is a show called Better Than Okay, where I share with you tips, learnings, and progress from a perspective of someone that is still learning the topic. And yeah, let's get started. All right, this is the first video in the golf series. I want to quickly talk about my initial learnings and what drew me into the game, and also share with you currently where my skill levels are at so we can start from the bottom and start building up from there. So when I first got started, the main advice that was given to me was to get the best clubs possible. Spend all your money on the clubs because the equipment is you. Do not mistake in that. Lessons that was given to me at the time, the three things that I remember was 1, swing lightly, 2, loosen my grip, and 3 is to look at the ball. So those are 3 habits that I had when I was like first learning. You know, there's obviously a ton of other things to consider, grip, stance, all those things. That wasn't something that really focused on in my lesson. So again, we'll highly recommend going to someone that can point you out some of the issues that you're working on, or watch some videos and, you know, film yourself more importantly and see what you're doing wrong if you're just kind of learn from yourself and kind of get it started that way. But yeah, for me, it was swinging lightly. You know, I was like 21 at the time, and still now to this day, I like swing pretty hard, or as hard as I could sometimes, just because it's so fun to hit the ball. The other thing was loosening the grip, and he kept calling it choking the chicken. Didn't really quite understand why until really recently, and you know, I'll kind of go into that in another video. But as I'm adjusting more now with like playing around with different stance, playing around with different things, loosening your grip I think does help. And again, I'll cover in another video, but yeah, that one really stuck with me. And the last one that was super important was looking at the ball. I do this thing where I was lifting my head and he was like, you got to just keep your eye on the ball, swing through, and then look up afterwards. And I think that's something that I remember to this day and was trying to constantly correct. I'm just imitating what the transition is going to look like, so ignore that. All right, so after taking the lesson, I spent a little bit of time, and about 10 hours or so, to see if this is something I actually enjoyed. And I went to the driving range days after days, nights, evenings, before school, after school, pre-workouts, post-workouts. Just kidding, I went about like 6 or 7 times and thought if this is something I wanted to do. Ultimately, it was super fun. Trying to make contact is extremely challenging, but it was something that I wanted to get better at. But with school and everything else, I just didn't have that time or the resource to dedicate more time into it. So had to put it down for a little bit. And about 10 years later, where we are now, after the pandemic, a lot more friends got into it and I decided to give it a go. So recently I've spent about 30 hours or so at the range, trying to get a little bit better and making some progress. I will share in the next video on what I'm trying to do, the areas I'm focusing on, and how I'm going about picking what to focus on. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, check out how bad I currently am at this. I've only played 2 courses and abysmal, absolute abysmal, but gotta start somewhere, right? So yeah, only way to go is up. And thank you so much for checking out the video. I will catch you on the next one. Peace. Cheers. Bye. What do the cool kids say now to say goodbye? Deuces.